Hey guys, Brent Ehrler here with Daiwa. Checking out the new products. Always an exciting time is seeing the new stuff that's coming out. This right here is actually the Tatula Elite series of rods. Not only is the Elite series of rods, but it's the Signature series, meaning that these are rods that I have designed. Other pro staff guys have designed their rods as well. So in my lineup, I have this one right here, which is a 7.3 medium heavy fast action rod. This right here is a workhorse. This is one that's going to do the bulk of everything you want to do. If you don't know what to throw a type of bait on, this is probably going to be it. You know, this is the one that's going to have a lot, a broad spectrum of techniques to use it for. It's designed for something, fairly specific, meaning that it has a little bit softer tip. It's a fast action rod, so it has a quick shutoff, meaning that it has a soft tip with a lot of backbone. What that's good for is that you can have precise casting. You can skip a jig. You can pitch a bait towards shallow cover. You can, just have that precision casting where you need to cast it to a very small spot. That softer tip will allow you to do that. The backbone, again, for hook sets, you can get into that tight, spot there and work a bait. The soft tip also helps for actually feeling and being able to work the bait without pulling it too far away from the strike zone, away from the fish. Softer tip allows you to keep it there. Backbone for hook sets. It's a 7.3, just a good all-around length to it. Medium heavy, fast action, available this spring at dealers near you. We're out here right now. We're gonna try and catch a few fish. It's pretty cold out. It's been windy. We got a little bit of slack water right now, so hopefully I can fish deep and catch some few fish right now. One thing I really like to do when I'm fishing a bottom bait, it doesn't have to be a Texas rig like this. It can be a jig. The one thing I like to do is fish the slack line. Now, right now, I know my bait's on the bottom because I have a bow in my line. So what I'm gonna do is I'm lifting that line just until I barely touch that bait. I'm not pulling it, hopping it. I'm not jumping that thing off. By fishing that slack line, all I'm doing is just touching it. So every time I touch it, that bait's just moving just an inch, 2 inches. It's not coming up off the bottom like this. It's just going like that, just barely. If I go to hop it and nothing's there, he grabbed it and came towards me. If I go to hop it and it's not where it should be, I go to hop it and it, I go to lift it and he's already down there, well, I know he picked it and kind of swam away from me. A lot of times I will actually see the bite on that bow line, meaning that I'm watching that bow, I'm lifting that rod tip, I'm watching that bow, I'm watching that slack. I'll lift the rod tip and I'll drop that slack and I'll see that bow go down. Well, that bow's dropping, and you see that line just shoot real quick, just a quick little pop. That means he's got it. What I'm doing is I'm fishing an area out here. There's some scattered rock, there's some scattered brush. It doesn't matter, whatever it is you're fishing, if you're fishing a target down there, if you're fishing something down there, I'm gonna fish fairly fast. I'm gonna move that bait quite a bit until I feel what it is I'm trying to fish for down there, until I feel that piece of structure. So now when I work that bait, I'm gonna move it, move it, move it. As soon as I feel the structure down there, that's when I'm gonna all of a sudden just stop. If I'm doing that constant cadence, just moving that bait, fishing it along down there, as soon as I feel something down there, I'm gonna stop and go, okay, now I'm there. I'm in the right spot. I know I'm in the strike zone. I'm close to where that fish is gonna be. I'll do a couple of things. One, I'll just stop it. So now I'm there, okay, I'm in the right spot. Sometimes you'll get that bite right then. The other thing I'll do is let it sit there for a second. Then what I'll do is I'll kind of just shake it a little bit. So I'm making that bait move. I'm giving it some action, but I'm not pulling it too far away from the strike zone, from where that fish is. So I want maximum movement without a lot of directional movement. So I'll shake it a little bit. If I'm over a limb, if I'm fishing a brush pile, then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let it sit there, and I can just sit there and shake it in one spot for a long time and never pull it away from the strike zone. It'll be right there, but I'm making it move. So if I have to convince him to bite, sometimes you'll do that. You'll just shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, and all of a sudden it'll go poof, and you got him. The other thing I'll do is pull it up a little bit and then let it fall back down. So now I'm kind of yo-yoing it up. Okay, so I'll do that a couple times. Then, if I feel like I've been there long enough, then I'll pull it up and over the structure. And if I feel it pull off of something, then I want it to fall on a slack line. So if I feel it pop over something, you know, drop the rod tip, maybe give it a little bit of slack, then lift up and start shaking it again or just barely moving it. So I'm keeping it in the strike zone for longer. Now, this is where the Tatula Elite signature rod that I've made is very effective, because it's a medium heavy action rod, but it's a fast bend. That fast bend gives me a soft tip on it, gives me something where I can do that. If it's too stiff of a rod, every time I try and move that bait, I'm moving it too far away from where I want it to be. I can keep it right there. So that's something that is very beneficial with this rod, is that it has that soft tip, but again, it has that good backbone, so when the fish actually bites, I can set that hook and land them. And tell how big he is. That's a nice one. There we go. All right. Not too bad. Little Texas rig. Put that on my 7.3 medium heavy Tatula Elite rod that I designed as a multi-purpose rod. Great for throwing a Texas rig, great for doing a lot of things, but the 7.3 medium heavy fast action allows me to cast that bait out there, fish it, but then has the backbone to get a good hook set in it. The SV spool is critical, crucial for right now. Casting into the wind, fishing structure down there, being able to cast this light Texas rig right into the wind and not backlash. More time on the water, less time picking out backlashes and catching more fish. What a great setup. Really, I designed this rod, this 7.3 medium heavy, as a multi-purpose rod, but I really like it for a Texas rig, a weightless Senko. A lot of times I'll really use it for shallow water pitching. You know, if I use like a 1/4 ounce weight, maybe a 3 ounce weight, something that I don't want to use a big 7.6 or 8 foot flipping stick, I'm gonna go with this rod. You know, pitching laydowns, or if you're fishing around cypress trees or trees, use that longer 7.5, 8 foot rod. When you go to make a pitch, your rod tip always catches and tangles around the limbs up above you. So a smaller 7 foot, you know, this is 7.3, is plenty enough rod. You know, you put 20-pound test on this rod and pitch it shallow cover, you're gonna hook and land those fish. You don't need the big giant 8-footer, you know, flipping stick to get those fish out of there. So I designed this rod as a multi-purpose rod, but the thing that really excels to me is casting a Texas rig, pitching a Texas rig, casting a small jig, skipping a jig. Just really, you know, it's that multi-use rod. You can really do it for a lot of things. Oh boy, that feels like a good one. Can't tell how big he is, it sure feels like a big one. Oh yeah. Yummy. There we go. Look at that one. Such a nice one. Oh my goodness. Texas rig. Man, this is, again, Tatula Elite signature rod. It's the one I designed, 7.3 medium heavy and fast actions. Great for throwing a Texas rig like this. Weightless Senko, Texas rig Senko. Very versatile. Pairing it up with the Tatula SV reels. Great for casting a light bait. Great for casting in the wind. Fewer backlashes. Very crisp, very smooth, ultra lightweight. What a fun way to catch them. Again, on the Yamamoto Senko, real versatile bait. Can do a lot of things with it. Weightless, Texas rig, Carolina rig. Catching big fish like this. What a fun day trying out these brand new rods and reels. Tatula Elite series of rods. And the Tatula with the SV spool. Must have. I can't wait to put them to use this season. There he goes. Big old 5-pounder.